Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's press conference reaction, a very, very interesting presser that we did have, well, the Springboks did have earlier. And a lot on the agenda, obviously, with the likes of an update on Lukhanyo Am, as well as sort of the Springbok situation at the moment. And also got some quotes from Grant Williams as well, which is interesting as well. Obviously, we had quite a strange tournament in playing wing and not really playing at scrum half, which is his natural position. So we were talking a little bit about Coach Felix Jones, who was the man in the press conference, and he was joined by Grant Williams. And yeah, well, and who shared a couple of very interesting comments about being at wing versus scrum half. But yeah, before we look at that exactly what was said, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. So first of all, Felix Jones was asked for an injury update in the squad, and he said there were certainly a lot of knocks. The game on the weekend was incredibly physical. I haven't seen a game where that was that many guys after the match that had shines or cuts or bruises. There's quite a lot of that, but nothing of a major concern. So basically, Marcus on the Pimpy, the only major injury. Everybody else, a couple of shiners, a couple of cuts, and some bruises, but nothing, muscular, for example, nothing that is, keeping them up at night. Basically just a couple of sore bodies, which they've got the full week to recover now. And hopefully we'll have a full squad to pick for in a week's time for the semi-finals. He was then asked about Lukhanyo Am, who today joined training for the first time and is officially sort of back within the squad. And yeah, Felix Jones did confirm that he will be doing a bit of light work today in the session. He said Lukhanyo is going to arrive today shortly. He'll probably do some light field work. Anyone in the squad is going to put their hands up for contention. We'll see how he rocks up and how he performs in training over the next 2 weeks. Lukhanyo will come in and definitely contend for a centre position. He'll be considered just as much as everyone else and will base a lot of it on what happens in training and also consider what's gone on the games prior to this. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. Basically saying that he's fully in contention, that the fact that he's coming in late will not count against him. And at this stage, as long as he trains well, then he's very much up for selection. They asked about recent game time. He said, luckily for us, Lukhanyo is quite an experienced player and has been part of the group for many years now. I think probably everyone will agree that when Lukhanyo is at his best, he can slot to almost any team. It's not that long since Lukhanyo was actually with us. I think the last game was Argentina away in Buenos Aires. That's not that long ago. It's only 5 or 6 test matches ago. He said Lukhanyo was actually involved in all of our lineman camps. So I lost it over here. All of our training sessions up to the point of pretty much leaving for the World Cup or the week or two before. So he'll be fully up to speed with how things are going here. I think that's an interesting point. Whilst he did miss or didn't play in that Wales New Zealand game, he was part of the lineman camps and was training with the Springboks up until they left for the World Cup at the end of August. So in that perspective, he has been training and stuff. So it's not like he's been injured until like the last week and only now back. In theory, we heard there were rumors that he wasn't really doing a lot of training on the ground, but I think those were wrong. So I think he has been training. And yeah, so in theory, he's been training and been sort of fit-ish for the last couple of weeks. And now they just sort of brought him back. Felix Jones then asked about South Africa's attack with regards to his defense, saying, which one's better. And he says, it depends on the game and it depends on the moment. But probably our defense has been in the top 2 to 3 you would rank in the world for a number of years now, which I think is probably true. He says, hopefully defense complements attack, and hopefully the way you can attack complement your defense. We try not to focus on segmenting one area and think of it like that. It's far more looking at the whole thing holistically and seeing how we can complement the team to be more effective. I think about our defense. That's what we won the World Cup with last time. And this year it's been really impressive. I mean, we shipped 18 points against Tonga, which was more than we had conceded against Ireland, Scotland, and Romania combined. So even now we're looking at, I think, having conceded 35 points across 4 games, which is pretty impressive, to be honest, especially considering the fact that you played against Ireland, you played against Scotland. That's less than 10 points a game. So it's very, very impressive. And our attack, well, against Scotland, it's difficult to say that it wasn't good enough. Tonga, maybe, we could have probably scored a bit more. Romania, we scored twice the fun. And Ireland, we weren't as clinical as we'd like to be. So our attack's getting there, but I don't. For example, our defense at the moment is very much, one of the best in the world. He was asked who will be cheering on for the game between Ireland and Scotland, and he said, we just want to get through ourselves. I think there's 20 odd possible scenarios, and one of them can result in us being knocked out. We're just hoping we get one of the ones that we actually go through to knockout stages. If you look at it on paper, and you look at it form, and you look at Ireland being the #1 team over the last however many test matches now there are in a row, you'd probably say it looks like the Island will be the favourites. But I've seen it so many times up in the Northern Hemisphere and playing all my rugby in the Northern Hemisphere that as soon as you write Scotland off, a Scottish team like Glasgow or Edinburgh, that's when they're almost at their most dangerous. Scotland are in fantastic form. They've proven now in the last two games that they have an ability to score points as well as an attacking team. I think it's going to be a really tight game. He then was asked about the performance of 100 Pollard and my Libok against Tonga. He said, "We have full confidence in the lads. Whoever is selected, or if both players end up being selected on the field at the same time, one player coming off the bench, whatever the case may be, we have full confidence in them." In terms of speaking about Pollard specifically, he said, "It's been great having Andre in. He's given us another voice in the changing room, on the field, in the meeting room. It's been a real pleasure having him back. He's just picked up exactly where he left off. It's been great." And we've got a couple of quotes here from Grant Williams, who's asked about Lukhanyo Am, and he says, "Everyone enjoys Lukhanyo. If you don't enjoy Lukhanyo, then there's something wrong with you. He's an incredible leader at the Sharks, and in the Springbok environment, we're getting a quality player back." He was then asked about playing scrum half as well as wing, and he says, "Whatever my role is during the week, whether it's wing or scrum half, or if I have to scrum, I need to nail my role." He says, in which position he prefers, he says, "At the moment, winger. I'm seeing more space and there are no forwards." Apparently, last period off. So interesting, actually, that is, at the moment he's preferring playing on the wing than actually at scrum off, which is something we would have expected to have seen at all during the World Cup months ago. But that is reality. So, that's coming out of the press conference there. We'll have reactions from you over the next few days as we sort of keep you up to date with what the Springboks are up to. We'll then have press conferences themselves up from next week once again. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you're always up to date with what's going on there. Please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen. I'll chat to you soon.